Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. Today we're discussing a certified pre-owned Rolex Oyster Perpetual Sky-Dweller. It's going to be a 326135 in Everose red gold on a strap with a lovely brown bronze metallic sunburst dial. So this is an example of the Sky-Dweller as it originally launched back in 2012 with the pre-2017 radial Arabic numeral dial. The timepiece is elegant and graceful. It's large, but think of it as a larger date just, and you get the general idea of its presence and its character. 42 millimeters in diameter, measures 14 millimeters exactly in thickness from lug tip to lug tip, 50 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now this is the one part of the video where I always take off the gloves so you can better see my wrist. If you put the watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it fits nicely. I do believe we're sort of at the limit here. My wrist is probably the smallest that can wear this well, but it's a little bit easier to wear than the same watch on a bracelet because the strap pulls straight down out of the lugs rather than rigidly flaring out. So it's a good fit, and you can see even from over the top, which generally exaggerates the width of a watch, the lugs are not out over the edge of my wrist. Take one last look down the barrel right there, which is always the most representative, and take a look at the cuff shot, where you can see that the watch, because of its cupped case back, it actually sits a little bit lower on the wrist than its measured thickness. And then you've got that sloped, faceted, fluted bezel to help a dress sleeve or a cuff ride up over it. So it's actually not impossible with a sleeve, especially if that sleeve is on a jacket, and jackets tend to be looser in that regard. We'll bring back the glove to maintain propriety and keep the powers that be happy. The watch features Everose, which is a very high copper and high platinum content rose gold. So the idea here is this is basically what you would consider Oro Rosso at Panerai, King Gold at Hublot, Sedna red gold at Omega. It's a very red gold, not pink, not rose, red. And it will always be that way because of the high platinum content, so it will not fade. So you get the copper percentage, which is high to make it red, and then you have the platinum content, which makes it stable. Now, I was talking a little bit about the strap. What I mean here is that the strap can pull down 90 degrees from the case band rather than flaring out and fighting like you do when you have a solid end link bracelet. Now, with Rolex watches on straps, you generally get this little end piece that inserts under the bezel that allows a cleaner junction between strap and case so there's not some unsightly gap between them. So that's what's going on with that little insert right there. The strap is substantial. You can see large rectangular scale alligator leather, medium brown, semi-gloss. There is some stuffing or bolstering to give it volume. We have a monotone stitch, folded edge. Then you can see on the bottom we have calfskin. Several different strap lengths are available, and we will be able to get any strap length you require to make this watch fit your wrist. We can even do custom if necessary, so don't worry about this strap. It's just a placeholder for the one that will fit you. You can see inside the clasp we have several different pairs of drillings that allow you to use the strap tool to dismount the spring bar and change the anchoring point so you can adjust the fit a second way. And then we have this spring-loaded lift lock system where you have a beak and then there's a hook, and these two things actually come together and they latch, so it's not friction fit. You do have to lift and unlock it. It has more security than a simple friction fit snap-shut clasp. You can see a screw fixes the clasp to the strap, will roll around to the case. Like I said, it's a lot like a big date just. The case lines are scaled up, but essentially the same in terms of their sinuous compound curves, their complexity of contour, and then the taper at the ends. We have a twin lock crown in gold. You know that because there's two dots. That's how you read that code. We have a screwed in oyster style caseback, screw down crown, screwed in caseback, 100-meter water resistant watch. Now this is the pre-2017 style of the watch, which means you've got these non-luminescent radially arrayed Roman numerals, and I'm going to demonstrate now how much luminescence we have here on this dial by turning out the lights. You can see this is also before the arrival of Rolex Chromolite. Now the dial has a lovely glowing effervescence in brown bronze with a sunburst brushed metallic pattern that radiates out across the surfaces. Rose gold numerals, crown and hands, so they don't oxidize, they will never tarnish and discolor. Cyclops eye magnifier over the date, and then we have this little system with an aperture outboard of each numeral for the annual calendar. So it's an annual calendar. It only requires one adjustment per year during the jump from February to March. The other months that are irregular and regular, it knows the difference. It's actually based on wheels. It's exceptionally simple. The beauty of this system is its simplicity and its durability. Rolex calls it Saros. It's based on the motion of planets. Now you can see there is this little white index, and that lets you know what month it is currently. So you can see right now it is the 8th month, which is August, and the 27th. So here's how this watch works. Now in the first position, you wind the watch, nothing happens. Now if you pull the crown out, winding in the first position, that's fine. It is an automatic watch, 72-hour power reserve. You don't have to manually wind it, but you can. When you pull the crown out to its second position, nothing happens. Now, the bezel is called ring command, and it's actually part of the movement. You turn one click counterclockwise. Now I have the ability to adjust both the month and the date in two directions. It's a bi-directional quickset. But notice the watch keeps ticking. I haven't moved any of the hands or the GMT reference ring that represents the second time zone. One more click counterclockwise. Now I can drive the local hour hand. Take note, the watch is still ticking. It's not hacked. I can drive the date forwards but not backwards in this mode. So this is how I set my local hour. Now one more click counterclockwise. Now hacking is engaged. The seconds hand stops and everything I adjust will be in sync. So what you actually do is you work backwards. You start here, you adjust the 24-hour second time zone. Then you adjust your local hour. Then you adjust your calendar. And you turn it back all the way clockwise. Now nothing happens, you just put that crown back in. Inside, Rolex caliber 9001, bidirectional automatic winding with a ball bearing winding system. So the rotor is on a ball bearing pivot, not the older Rolex jeweled staff. Again, 4 Hertz beat rate, 40 joules, 72-hour power reserve, annual calendar, bidirectional quickset, hacking seconds, COSC certified Swiss chronometer, adjusted in 5 positions. It has a full balance bridge with a free sprung balance for shock resistance, and due to the free sprung balance, also allowing for very precise adjustment using Rolex's Micro Stella variable inertia screws. It has an overcoil hairspring, Breguet profile shaped by hand, so in any physical position, the watch will keep very consistent time due to the centered mass and concentric breathing of the overcoil. And finally, that overcoil is made of a blue oxidized niobium zirconium hairspring alloy that Rolex calls Parachrom Bleu, and it is extremely resistant to magnetism. So you have this watch, which is elegant, but also water resistant, shock resistant, and anti-magnetic. If you love this certified pre-owned Rolex, reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details. Rolex Certified Pre-Owned watches are backed and authenticated by Rolex. Should any reconditioning be necessary, it will be to a Rolex Certified standard, and any parts invested, Rolex Factory Original. Should the initial retail box, paper, and accessory set still accompany the watch, it will be included with the sale. But no matter what, a certified pre-owned box and paper set starts with an outer box, a leatherette travel pouch with suede lining, a warranty card that embodies the 2-year globally valid Rolex-backed warranty. Note this is not a retail warranty, but backed by Rolex and actionable at any of its authorized points of sales and service. A leatherette wallet includes the warranty terms and conditions manual. A holographic hang tag marks this as a certified pre-owned Rolex watch, and a manual details Rolex's values as a company, the certified pre-owned program, care, feeding, service, and use of your Rolex, locations of points of sales and service, and details of Rolex.com. Rolex certified pre-owned watches are backed only by Rolex.